Welcome to the DiaFight Advanced Game Rules. Let's get straight into it and start from the top, as if you have finished your DiaFight basic game. Flipping over the first two cards that are left on the top of your deck that have DiaFight Advanced game warnings on them, you will see two similar looking cards. The heroes will have an infection tracker and the monsters a time in range tracker. These have the exact same effects. Infections and time in range are both effects that are caused by particular units. When they attack, for example, when Dr. Endo attacks, he adds one time in range tracker to the unit he has just attacked. The owner of that unit will then put a time in range tracker underneath that unit. Dr. Endo still does his one attack power damage from his attack. This effect is additional. Infection and time in range are triggered at the end of the affected player's turn, so they have a chance during their turn to remove it. Infection and time in range causes direct health point loss, ignoring any defense that unit has, making it a good strategy to destroy defensive units. We have already covered another mechanic while explaining this, which is attack effects. When you see the words on attack, this means that when that unit attacks, the following effect is triggered. We will get into these in more detail shortly, but let's get back to working through the deck. The next card is your elite unit. You are allowed one elite unit per deck. These elite units count as a main unit and play as any other main unit in your deck. There's not much more to them than that. They are just more powerful units. So our next card is the Hooded Professor. He has a on-entry effect. This simply means that the effect takes place when this card enters the table, i.e. is played from your hand. So in this example, when this unit enters, you can give a +1 attack power bonus to any of your units, including this one. Our next card is Databot, DiaPal. This has the same effect as Dr. Endo, so let's ignore this card and move to the next one. The next card is an Enhancement card. These cards attach to one of your units to enhance them in some way, following the rule of 2. A unit can have a maximum of 2 enhancement cards attached to them. In this example, the Peer Network card enhances a DiaPal card with 3 extra health points and 1 extra attack power, making it much stronger. The next card is another Enhance card. This time it adds an effect to the attached unit. In this example, it gives the unit an attack effect of removing an infection counter, which means when it attacks, it can remove 1 infection counter from any of your units. Again, let's skip the next card and move on to the Positivity Panda, who has a non-exit effect. This means when this unit is destroyed or discarded, either by your opponent or by yourself, the effect triggers. Again, you can choose which unit is affected. The next card is an Enhance card that gives a unit the exact same effect as we just described. We've reached our most complex card, an Enhance card with an on-exit effect, but it has a condition. So the first effect is you can place another unit from your hand to immediately replace the unit this Enhance card was attached to when it is destroyed. If the condition is met, i.e., you had less units on the table at the time this unit was destroyed, the unit you replaced this one with starts with +1 defense. The next card is Dr. Endo, who we have already covered. So moving on to the fix bit, this DiaPal has an on-exit effect, which causes 2 damage to the unit that destroyed it. So for example, if it was destroyed by having an infection, it would not do any damage to any unit, making it a worthwhile strategy to destroy this card by infection rather than direct attack. The next card, Injection Technique, is an Enhance card that gives a unit the same effect as the Positivity Panda, which we have already covered. So let's move on to Burnout Recovery. This Enhance card allows a unit to not use its attack. If they don't attack that turn while this Enhance card is equipped to them, they gain a 1 attack power buff, adding 1 attack power tracker to the card. They can do this as many times as they like, but remember, the maximum buff they can have is 2. So this card would make a good option when your opponent has already debuffed one of your unit's attack power. Quickly covering the next card, Dr. D, who has an on-entry effect. When this unit enters, you can choose to debuff one of your opponent's units for -1 defense. We have reached our last unique effect in the advanced game, Healing. Units with a heart symbol instead of 2 crossed swords are units that heal instead of attacking. Simply add the amount of health points indicated to any of your other units. This healing unit can use attack power buffs and debuffs, and these buffs increase or decrease the amount of healing that this unit does. The last few cards, their effects are the same as we have already covered. Effects are used multiple times in these starter packs, so our initial games are not overloaded with information. The Monsters deck has the exact same effects, so there's no need to cover them as well. We now know everything we need to play the advanced game.